Hello everyone. Because the holiday season is here, I decided to do something a bit more chilly, which is the SCP-244, which looks like an ordinary vase or a vase, but when activated, it creates a frost cloud around itself, which cuts off line of sight and freezes to death. It has two different variants. The SCP-244A variant can be found in SCP item pedestals, and only one spawns per match. And the SCP-244B variant can sometimes spawn in heavy containment zone, already active, acting as a small environmental hazard. There is no other difference between the variants other than looks, and at most you can have two of them per game. Here just quickly showing the size of the frost cloud. And now onto its damage. Staying in the frost cloud gives you the hypothermia status effect. The longer you stay, the more it fills up and the more damage you will receive. At 100%, it deals max damage. And at max, the damage per second is 15 health points. And Hume Shield immediately takes the max amount of damage because it doesn't ramp up like normal health does. And Hume Shield damage per second is 15. Oh, and the damage to Hume Shield actually stacks with each additional instance of 244, but in actual gameplay, at most, you could get two of them. And for some reason, 106 actually gets damage to his Hume Shield by 244 while he is submerged underground. Here is a better example. I'm constantly losing and gaining Hume Shield, so it constantly spams its breaking sound effect. The frost cloud completely stops Hume Shield regeneration. 244 makes ambience sounds periodically while held. You can activate 244 by pressing left mouse button and cancel it by pressing the right mouse button. It can also be safely dropped from your inventory. It can also be activated by throwing something at it. Both variants can be destroyed with a grenade explosion, but that would be a waste of a grenade in most cases. The worst thing about 244 is that anything dropped in the frost cloud gets increased pickup time, and that's very annoying. So you could potentially carry 244 around, and when you get killed with a bunch of good gear, someone would have a bad time picking it back up again. But in that case, just pick up 244 first, so it doesn't slow everything down. And now to the effects it has on humans apart from the slow pickup time. As you can see, while I'm moving back and forth slowly in the cloud, my crosshair becomes less accurate. It also decreases aiming down sights speed, increases felt recoil, decreases reload speed, decreases weapon draw out speed, makes the weapon less accurate, and generally makes it feel really bad to use. You can actually negate all the effects of the frost cloud by eating green candy, but I wouldn't recommend eating it just for this reason. After 30 seconds, the candy effect will disappear. Also, a pretty useless but kind of funny bug is that for some reason, every single keycard turns slightly blue in your inventory if it's picked up in the frost cloud. Also, SCP-1853 doesn't seem to increase the pickup speed of things that are dropped in the frost cloud. If you are holding either SCP-127 or 1509, the frost cloud will not do any damage to the wielder unless the item was unequipped, so you could potentially camp in the frost cloud with either of these weapons. But to be fair, camping in it is kinda ass, cause your vision will be way worse than the person who is just entering the cloud. And the worst thing is that they can see your name tag without even seeing you. And now to the effects 244 does to SCPs. So the 173 Tantrum Puddle will disappear faster in the cloud, and the time stacks with more instances of 244, but in normal gameplay you could only get 2 of them. And I really don't think anyone is going to go out of their way just to relocate 244 next to a goddamn Tantrum Puddle so it can disappear faster. The Frost Cloud also kinda blocks the vision of 096, because if I move slightly closer, he sees me without actually seeing me. The same thing happens if I'm inside the cloud and he is outside of it. It's the same for 173, the man is looking at me without me even seeing him, and anyone who fought 173 in the Frost Cloud knows that it's very finicky and annoying, because he sometimes just moves even if you're looking at him. That's why when I know that 173 is in the game, I try to remove any active 244, because most of the time they are just helping the SCPs. Also, I swear I saw somewhere that the gas cloud should stop 1344 from being able to see through it, but I guess I'm just wrong, and there is actually no other downsides for the SCPs to stay in the cloud. Apart from damage taking and getting slightly slower, they don't get reduced attack speed or anything, so the cloud is way more detrimental to humans than it is to SCPs. The cloud also doesn't prevent 079 cameras to see humans through it, but a cool change would be that a cloud just freezes the camera and make it unusable. I don't think it would be too strong and could actually give a use to this thing. And now onto the environmental aspects of 244. Closing open doors will prevent the cloud from entering the room. The large gate doors also prevent the cloud from spreading. And the cloud for some reason refuses to go into the gate A elevator, and it could be used to varying levels of success in surface zone to create cover. But to be fair, that's like the main problem of this thing. It's like a less portable smoke grenade that you have to be AFK or break your keyboard to not be able to move to even see the effects of this thing. So that leaves it only for human versus human combat, but like, who actually carries one of these late in the game when humans are fighting each other? And it could be used to kind of block line of sight on corridors to camp points, but like, this isn't CS, there are most likely other entrances to places you're holding. What I meant to say, even though it does a lot of things, none of those things are actually useful. It usually helps the SCP team most of the time, and maybe there are 244 fans that know how to best use it. Maybe I'm just bad with it, I don't know. And against SCPs, 244 was actually useful, because you could lock them in a room and freeze them to death, until they added the emergency escape button from most of the rooms that SCPs could get trapped in. And no, I'm not saying that the emergency escape button is a bad addition. I'm just saying that with it, 244 lost its biggest use. And the only place where you could actually trap SCPs is in the candy room, because there is no emergency escape button there. But even then, it has to be 049 or Calm 096, because they can't normally break glass. And even then, it's not practical at all, because to fully engulf the room in gas, you need 2 instances of 244. So probably the most fun thing you can do with this SCP item is spamming M1 and M2 and cradling it like a little baby. And for the other version, you can do the same, except this time you will be stroking it like you're dead. Now onto the 914 recipes. On course, they just decide to spontaneously combust. On rough, they just disappear. On 1-1, they just swap models. A becomes B and B becomes A. On fine, they just give themselves back. And on very fine, they also just give themselves back. So even the 914 recipes are absolutely ass. I probably missed something about this thing, but it's probably not even that important, so yeah, that's going to be it. See ya.